What's up, everyone? We are back. Episode 35. We have the big one, the last one of the triple header, race number 3, Monza. The famous call tag. He won in Spa. He wins in Monza. Charles Leclerc. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be hearing that this weekend.
Ooh. Well, we're definitely
Yeah.
not hearing that, but man, man. Do you know what? This could have been the year where he could have won in Monaco and in Monza.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been the year that actually
It could have
happened,
been.
but I don't know.
I
But
think
go ahead.
this weekend, not only is it the triple header, it's going to be the third strike in Ferrari's absolute shit campaign at trying to come back in the title fight. This is the
I
one that
mean,
puts
yeah.
him out of it.
I don't even think there's a comeback in the title fight left, man.
Yeah, but I mean, going into the summer break, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
we're gonna come back in the second half, and yeah, we're coming back."
Yeah,
But
no.
now
No,
it's
they
like
picked up right where they left off.
one strike, that was a shit show weekend. Two strikes, that was an even bigger disaster class. Strike three is gonna be the reliability issues now. So yeah, we had
It's not a good look.
strategy, we got pit stops, now we got the trifecta, which is gonna be the car itself is just gonna explode.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I
I
mean,
mean,
like, I hope Monza delivers though.
oh, it should be a banger, but I mean, the Ferrari truck can't even bring the cars to the race
Dude,
weekend.
can we talk about that? What the hell? After hours of leaving the Dutch Grand Prix, they're traveling, boom, we see on freaking Ferrari News meme channel on Twitter their bus and basically half their pit crew. I don't know why they even decided to get the pit crew to try to fix the bus because they'd probably just make it worse. Like I don't
No,
know
no.
what dude what more can they do wrong?
Um, uh,
A lot?
we're gonna see this weekend. Honestly, this weekend we'll tell you what more they can do wrong. But like, damn, they can't catch a break. They can't do anything right. And like, if you thought they already looked like a joke with their pit stops and the leaving the tire gun out and then unsafe release, their truck broke down too, just to add the icing on the cake right there.
Yeah, I mean, in all aspects of Ferrari, it's an absolute house fire that no one's putting out. It's like that SpongeBob meme when you walk in, it's like all the SpongeBobs with everything on fire trying to calm things down, and you have the one sitting there like, no, everything's fine.
Careful,
Like,
SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob! Careful, SpongeBob!
oh
That's
my
Ferrari
god.
season.
Speaking of SpongeBob, that's what Charles Leclerc looks like in that freaking yellow suit this weekend.
I saw someone post a meme and it was when he was wearing that banana suit playing the game and then it's a photo of him like with the racing suit, you can unzip the top half or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
They were like the bananas unpeeled or some shit. It was pretty funny.
Oh my god. Now let's talk about that livery for a second. What are your thoughts on that new livery that just dropped today?
Absolute stinker of a livery.
Dude, it literally looks like this car belongs in a hot dog bun.
In the worst way, yeah.
Like it doesn't look good. They
Hey,
should have went with the full black and yellow look. Well, no, that would have
yeah.
looked like
Or
Renault.
oh dude. No, just a full blacked out. Maybe add some red to it,
Ooh.
but why do they want the yellow? What's the yellow all about?
I don't know. At first I thought it was gonna be a play on like, oh, they're sponsored by Shell, so they're gonna do like Shell Yellow, and that's been like their title sponsor forever. And I thought they were gonna do that, but it looks like it is just the Ferrari emblem yellow. I just don't know what like yeah, obviously they're celebrating Monza, it's their home race or whatever. The Tifosi's gonna be there, but like what do they have to celebrate right now?
It would be so much more gangster if they came out in an all black car.
I mean, it would. Think about it, bro. All black, just the red 16, and they kept the Ferrari logo on the tail, on the rear tail, like all
Well, you got to put
yellow.
the sponsors on there still.
Oh no, I know. Like keep the sponsor stickers exactly how they are, but all black car. The yellow Ferrari in the back, and then the red numbers with all the sponsors all the sponsor stickers around it. I think that
That's
would look
hard.
fucking sick.
That's hard. Like this looks like they did the bare minimum. They're like, okay, let's add yellow. All right, we'll just throw it over here. Throw it over here.
It's like they
Does this
almost
look good?
added paint.
Question.
They the question? Like, what do? They almost added paint like without adding paint to make the car heavier. Like which makes zero sense because even just this bare bones car, it was just all red and black. But we saw Williams in the beginning of the year literally just stripping paint off because it's just too heavy of a car. But
I
like,
mean, Bonotto said it's obviously not the team that's wrong. It's the car. So maybe they do need the
oh
weight
my
savings.
god, dude, I brother, it's some of the most frustrating shit to read. Like Matteo Binotto admits there is quote unquote something wrong at Ferrari, but believes the area of concern is the F175's recent performance. What you've got to be high. You what, bro?
They've been on a stretch where they haven't had any reliability issues. So I
I
don't.
I was about to say, like, yeah, maybe it is. You know what? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It is the performance of the car, but it is not only that. It's a slew of things at Ferrari right now, and I think it starts at the top. And I have no idea why he's like, guys, I swear it's not me. It's just the car, bro. Like, I'm not driving it, dude. I'm just giving you strats, bro. Like, it's like, but no one knows what to do during the race. I don't know,
We're
man.
on Plan C.
Dude,
How many times
just
have you heard that this season?
literally, Chris, 7 laps into races, dog. We have 40 lap races, 50 lap races, sometimes 60, some like that. And we're not even 10 laps in, and we're already going to plan B and plan C. Tell me that there's something else wrong besides just the car.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's super weird. And I mean, like, sure, you guys can do that, but like, look at Mercedes. I mean, they obviously had some issues with the strategy, but uh, not really that bad. They stuck to their main strategy until like, safety car came and gave them the opportunity to do something different. But they had a strategy and they stuck to it. Where everyone else was doing two stoppers, they said we're gonna do a one stop, and they
I
were
mean,
doing
yeah.
that. Like they were you got to race your own race. You can't be copying other people's races and just they're always reacting to what Red Bull does. They're like, "Oh, Red Bull did this. Okay, strategy C. We're on C now." It's like, "Dude, what? No, you should plan your race and just do your race."
I mean, like we were briefly talking about earlier. I think there's a slew of problems of things going wrong at Ferrari, but it's like you just said, race your own race, commit to a plan, and if it goes bad, good. You committed to something. You at least died on your sword. But right now, they can't even think of a plan. Well, I mean, I'm going to start there. They literally can't even think of a plan, pick it, and commit to it without changing the plan 4, 5, 6 times. Now, don't get me wrong. I say that loosely because, yes, we didn't plan on that many safety cars this past weekend. Yes, shit happens left and right. You have to adjust and adapt. I get that. But they don't even have it seems like they don't even have a plan going to lights out.
Even the races where shit doesn't go crazy, they're still going down plan C, D, E, checking off every letter in the alphabet.
Literally. And they don't they're discussing the plan mid race. Like these dudes aren't battling for what, P4, P3, P2. Some are holding off the lead. They're literally discussing the race strategy mid race.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I I don't
insane.
I don't know what to do. And speaking of Ferrari and sister companies and stuff, let's talk about Haas for a minute. What's this I hear about Antonio Giovinazzi uh, sitting in for Mick, I believe, on FP1 this weekend? What's going on there?
That is, I'm sure it's probably a team obligation from Ferrari that it is a reserve driver they have. They want to keep him in seat time, probably just to maintain his points for keeping his super license and stuff. So that makes sense. And the fact that they're sitting Mick out tells me that Mick's their number one guy right now.
Really? Did is he though? Like, does Mick feel like the number one guy right now?
I think Mick has all the chips in his basket where he can choose where he wants to go. Because I mean, when Williams let Nick DeVries drive, who did they sit out? Certainly wasn't Latifi. He needs to practice out there.
That's true. That's true. You do have a point. You do have a point. And
And
uh,
like Magnuson's already locked in for next year also. So like giving him extra seat time doesn't really help you out that
it does
much.
it.
Like
Yeah,
if you're
you're
trying to
right.
compare taking Mick Schumacher or Giovinazzi, you're gonna put them both out and practice together.
Yeah, no, you actually, now that I think about it, you're totally right, and that could 100% be the case. But to echo what you just said, I do have to agree with you. I actually do think instead of Mick, you know, begging for his F1 seat, I actually do think he has not a lot of options, but a couple of options, and I do think the chips are more in his favor now, especially after these last couple races and
Yeah,
just the
I
market and what people are trying to do. And in, like you've got a Williams seat potentially. I swear, bro. Like I don't know if they're ever going to decide on Nicholas Latifi until after the season. And apparently, I see this thing about oh man, I'll circle back to it. I totally just forgot. But
no,
like
I know what you're saying about Latifi though, like, but Williams doesn't have to make a decision on Latifi because who's vying for Latifi on their team?
I mean, yeah,
You
you're
know,
right.
they can
Yeah.
wait until like a day before next season and still get Latifi if they need it.
No, I mean you're definitely right. And it's like oh, this is what I was going to say. It with this silly season is weird, and with these driver lineups are weird, especially for Mick and people like, obviously Danny Rick and Pierre Gasly and the whole Piastri situation. We've beaten it into the ground, but apparently Alfa Romeo's team says they have to stay calm before making a decision on Zhou Guanyu's future with the team. And apparently Alfa Romeo set a deadline for Zhou Guanyu decision. And that
Hmm.
I thought that was clear cut. I thought he was actually like they were looking to re-sign him. I thought it
I'm
was
ex-
pretty.
I'm excited about Joke on you. I really like him. I want to see him stay at Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and I don't even know if Alfa Romeo really has the ability to cut a driver on performance base because it's like not right now. I mean, obviously they do. They're an F1 team. That's the name of the game. But I'm saying like right now as they sit this year, dude, they can't even get two cars to successfully see the finish line right now. They
Yeah,
can't they it's literally a flip of the coin which one's going to finish this race week. And so how are you going to put and it's not like he's binning the car. It's all like the car's been pristine, untouched. It's all been mechanical. So it's like I don't know how much judgment you can put into that, and how much back and forth you can put into that when the races he has finished, he's shown great pace, and he's shown, yeah, he's a rookie and he's young, but he's shown everything he really kind of needs to right now. There's still a lot of racing left, but I don't know, man. I feel like that should have been a clear cut signing.
yeah, you want to think so. Uh, I'm right now. I'll be honest. I'm looking up to see how many races both the Alfa Romeo cars finished. So give me a second. Bear with me.
No, you're
Looks
good.
like they both finished Bahrain. So there's one. Then immediately the next race, Bottas DNF.
Yeah,
Then we got Australia. Australia. Damn, that was the third race. It feels like forever ago.
I know, dude.
Uh, Bottas finished and Zhou you finished. So there's two races. Next one on the list. So they're at three finishes. Maybe they've okay. Then yeah, I don't know. I want to say probably half the races they've
Yeah, I want to
DNF'd.
like. it's hard, but it literally feels like almost every other weekend, either VB or Joe on you, they're just coming into the pits and just DNFing the car. And it's like, it's I want some more consistency before Alfa Romeo decides to swing the corporate stick of, oh, we're gonna do this or we're gonna do this. Man, you can't even get solid data out of your driver because of the car. So why is this a thing we have to talk about? I think Alfa Romeo's team's great. They just have a shit car right now. That's it. Drivers are great. They just have a shit car. It's
Yeah, maybe there's something that they're seeing that they don't like, and we just don't know about it. I've been pretty hype on Joe. Like, I mean, his first race as a rookie, he got points, and like we were hard on Mick for the longest time because he wasn't getting points. And like as soon as he got those points, like I feel like we saw a giant attitude shift in him as a driver, where he's actually like trying for once, like really competitive. Like he looked like I don't know, like a whole different driver really after that. And that's why I think the chips are on his, in his court now, where he can make the decisions for where he's going next year. I think he's secured a spot for sure.
Yeah, no, you'd be 100% right. And I hope that's the case. I do hope that's the case, which I think it is, but who knows with how this is going. But I mean, let's talk about the Red Bull Porsche deal collapse a little bit.
Ba-na-na,
What's this I
da-na-na.
hear? Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. But nah, break this down a little bit for me. You know a little bit more about this Porsche deal than I do.
Yes. So apparently, I don't think it's totally off the table. It's definitely not looking good, and basically it's come down to Red Bull realized, or they've said pretty much like if Porsche wants to do this deal, it's going to be on our terms 100%. Uh, you need us more than we need you, basically. Uh, Porsche was kind of coming into it thinking that they were going to get 50-50 partnership, and maybe that was the initial talks, but I don't think Red Bull is looking for a 50-50 partner because they're on the top of the game right now. And they've been like the last 12 years, which constructors have been the best?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Mercedes and Red Bull. They've been running
Mercedes and
shit.
Red Bull, and I would sprinkle Ferrari in there in the last 10 years, but I mean, other than Kimi winning in '07, they haven't really been like dominant Ferrari.
That's what I'm
So,
saying. The last 12 years, from 2010 to now, like it's been Red Bull and Mercedes
oh
just
yeah,
running it.
just 1-2 Red Bull, Mercedes, 100% the whole time.
Yeah, but so it's like they're saying, "Hey, Porsche, if you guys want to join us, you're going to do it on our terms." Porsche thought that they were going to come in. Apparently, they wanted to put in their own team principal, totally getting rid of Christian Horner. Which, what do you think about that?
Brother, I don't know how can I mean, very obviously in the future, it's not like Christian Horner can be the forever boss of Red Bull. I get it, but I I I do not see a Red Bull team without Christian Horner, and the fact that they thought they could just walk in and like demand something, like, don't get me wrong, if you're going 50-50 in on a deal and you're splitting down the hat, I understand there has to be compromise back and forth, whatever. But you are not replacing Christian Horner at Red Bull, especially in the career setting he's his right now. Dude, he has Sebastian Vettel V2 like right in front of him. He could win. He won last year. He's definitely winning this year. He has potential to win
Yeah,
next year. He can go. We're
he
literally
went,
watching the potential of a run right now.
dude. He went toe to toe with Lewis Hamilton and won. He
Yeah,
beat him.
and arguably the W12 and the W11 Mercedes, that 2021 that 2021 and 2020 car Mercedes, arguably probably the fastest F1 car ever assembled. It's the
Yeah,
grippiest, it's the stickiest. It goes exactly where you want it to go without losing speed. He went toe to toe with that and beat it. Now,
and beat it, man.
obviously
Controversy,
there's some controversy. We get that,
drama,
but
wrong tires for
on
Mercedes, just like last weekend.
just like last weekend. Uh, but that what I'm trying to say is that he went toe to toe with that, and there's no way that that could happen we see year number 1 of a championship, we're gonna see year number 2 of a championship. We're literally starting the Max Verstappen era, and you wanna come in and replace the team boss just because you're Porsche? Like, there's no
Y-
way.
Yeah, that's but so I think that's what they wanted. They wanted some say also. Apparently they wanted to bring in probably their guy from uh Le Mans, I think, one of their some Porsche guy basically. They want to bring him in, and I'm sure he's probably like very qualified or whatever, like but this is F1 baby, and uh Christian Horner, as much as he can be annoying, he's definitely the face of Red Bull. He's been with the team from the jump. He built them to what they are today, and he's probably the best team principal right now.
I
What do you
mean,
think?
yeah, I think he's gotta be up there with the top 2, if not the best team principal. I would put Toto up there just because, like, yes, I understand that Horner is he had the 4-time run with Sebastian Vettel. He's still in contention for P2 the whole time. It's not like if he's not winning, he's coming in second. So it's really not that big a deal. But I mean, I can't argue 8 constructor titles in a row for Toto Wolff. Like it's especially when it was so controversial when Lewis switched from McLaren to Mercedes because McLaren at the time were at the top of the grid and Mercedes was like a midfield team. Now, we hit the 2010 era and basically the last decade it's been nothing but the silver arrows. So it's
You know
like
what? We gotta transition this perfectly here. McLaren, you were saying they used to be running the show. Now they're down pretty bad.
they're down
Apparently,
astronomically bad.
they could be a good target for Porsche
Could
to
they?
partner up and get into F1. They could, yeah.
Would that be the best thing for them right now? I know
For
they're
McLaren,
yeah,
they need the money, man. Bad.
that's true. They just literally gave Daniel Ricciardo the rest of his bag, so they're 20 million in the hole. Uh,
No, yeah, they're definitely like, and think about how much money they sunk in development of a car that did not pan out at all.
yeah. And what wasn't it that what did we hear in the off season that they didn't really have access to their wind tunnel uh at all? Like this past off season for this car?
Really?
I think that's what bro, I like please let me know in the comments if I'm absolutely capping, but I swear to you, I saw something about uh, McLaren's headquarters. They couldn't really get access or have access to the wind tunnel over the break, so they're basically seeing the effects of it now, and they basically picked a design of aerodynamics going in blind. So it's
Oh
like,
man.
if that was the case, I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket, but if that was the case, I mean, one, that explains why your car's a shit box. Two, you were set up for failure anyways this season. Three, that makes Daniel Ricciardo and you and y'all's situation look even worse because if the dude was set up to fail from the jump, and I know Lando's getting fairly decent. I mean, even for Lando, bro, like his numbers are down. But I don't know, man. It's just I feel like the moment the 2021 season ended for McLaren, it was the start of their graph trending downwards.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could yeah, I guess it was last year really, because that's when Ferrari jumped them in the constructors, and then they've just been on a slippery slope since then. They're about to fall 2 positions this year because Alpine's coming in hot.
Yeah, they're literally about to fall 2 positions. They went from P3 in 2020 to P4 in 2021, and now they're probably going to finish P5. Maybe if by some miracle they keep sucking and come back, they might find themselves in P6. Like it's
No, I don't think so, because Alfa Romeo's P6 right now, and
that's
they're
true. They keep
50 points
DNFing.
ahead of Alfa
Yeah,
Romeo.
you're right. You're right. But that's not a good look. Last year it was an okay look of them finishing P4 because yeah,
It was a close fight.
if McLaren didn't have the slightly like kind of slow opening to the season and really because they really picked it up at the last half of the season. If they didn't have that slow part, it would have been McLaren P3 still again. But Ferrari figured out their car very early on and got that
Hmm.
thing moving. And especially with Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, I mean, they were hungry their first year racing together. So it's like the battle for P1 between Mercedes and Red Bull was great. The battle for P3 between McLaren and Ferrari is great. That's how it should be, in my opinion. But I mean, we see Red Bull astronomically ahead of everyone else, and then Mercedes and Ferrari battling for P2, which is insane. Determine if you would have told me after the first two races of this year that Mercedes and Ferrari would be battling for P2, I would say you're absolutely insane. I thought Ferrari and Red Bull were going to be battling for P1 the whole time, but Red Bull is they're not even considered with the rest of this championship because they're already what 200 what how many points ahead? Let me see this real quick.
We got the numbers right here.
Yeah,
They are
511 to 376. Like, dude, come on.
yeah, they're almost 200 points. No, not really. They're only 135 ahead.
Like, dude, but still, compared to everyone else, it's like I don't. I refuse to believe that's the case, and especially what we saw at the beginning of this season with the Red Bull DNFs, Mercedes looking ass, Ferrari looking like a champion, and then we just see Ferrari falling from grace the whole time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're only 135 points ahead.
Only
No big deal. Just
nothing major.
135. But yeah, McLaren apparently they could be a pretty prime target for Porsche to get into the sport. And then I mean, honestly, I feel like any of these bottom teams like Williams, but Porsche doesn't want to partner with Williams.
No,
So
hell no. They want to be in position to at least be either best of the rest or fighting for like P2, P3 type deal.
this could be, I know we said it last time, but this could be Andretti's chance to get into F1.
See, I agree with you. I do agree with the Porsche Andretti type deal, but does Formula One want Andretti? Because the only news I hear about Andretti Motorsport and about him, all them wanting to buy an F1 is exactly that. I don't hear any news from the actual FIA F1 side. I hear all the news about how badly Andretti wants to be in F1. I don't see any conversations happening.
Yeah, but I feel like if it comes with Porsche, then
True.
F1 was like, oh, okay, yeah, fine, you'll come in.
Their ears perk up a little bit more. They're like, interesting, interesting.
Don't hate it, don't love it either. We'll allow it.
Well, don't hate it, don't love it either. But no, I mean that's basically it, man. But that was
What?
this week's news.
Well, who else? Like, if you were gonna, let's say you're Porsche, who are you gonna try to partner up with? What's your move? How do you get into F1?
Hmm. Uh, man. I mean, good call. I don't know. You can't do Mercedes. They're basically everything's in house with them. Uh,
Yeah,
Red Bull, everything's gonna be in house with them. Ferrari, you're not touching. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess it would have to be.
Alpine.
The only man, the only reason I would say no is because I think that Renault engine is doing just enough to keep themselves comfortable at Alpine. Like
Hmm.
it's one of those. It's like we determined Esteban Ocon. They're just good enough to keep their position, but nothing to write home about.
So I guess Porsche entering F1, I feel like it doesn't entirely have to be for the power unit. I think that's what would benefit Red Bull would be for them to do power units, right? I mean, Porsche hasn't even done a F1 engine, so like what if they wanted to come in and just help out with Alpine? They got the cash, they work on the aerodynamic side, or
I
maybe the
see. I
hybrid
feel
the
you, and I
hybrid
agree.
technology.
I feel you and I agree, but if they were already upset about not about Red Bull not letting him do almost anything and giving them what they want, do you really think a team like Alpine or they're gonna come in and be like, hey, Omar, you're not the team principal anymore. You're going to go to the analytics guy. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. We'll give you all this money, but it comes with, some strings attached.
But
And
but that's what Alpine needs. They
that's
need
fair.
someone to come in and take them to that next level.
They have too much pride, though. They have
Yeah,
too
but
much pride. They have Altmar.
yeah, but get rid of Otmar. Who cares? Like it's
That's what I'm
Otmar.
saying.
He hasn't proven himself like that much to like warrant not being replaceable. Like I get Christian Horner's irreplaceable. Toto Wolff's irreplaceable, but like Otmar, no, he can go.
That's true.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I,
guess.
I think Alpine is probably the best team for them to go after.
Uh, I guess my last guess would have been Aston Martin, but Lawrence Stroll probably won't play nice. So it and they're not going to go to Williams because obviously they just don't want to do that. Alfa Romeo is completely locked up by Ferrari, and Haas is kind of doing their own thing. I mean, yeah, I guess it literally would have to be Alpine or McLaren.
I guess
It would
Haas
have
could
to
be a
be to make
breakaway.
sense. It
Haas
it
could be a
could.
breakaway team.
Haas could be a breakaway team because they need the money and they've never been funded like that. They've never had a huge influx of funding because even with the whole 2018 rich energy, scandal bullshit, or actually the 2019, actually the black and gold, that car looked so nice, but it was that whole scandal was so stupid. They never saw a cent of that money, so they've never been. That was going to be their first chance of being really funded like that, and they never got to actually like see it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it could be they could get Haas and just completely break away from Ferrari and make their own thing. It comes back to being America's F1 team and whatever, which I don't know how long that's going to last still, but I don't know, man. Uh,
Yeah, I guess
I guess it'd
if
have to
if
be Haas,
you're
McLaren, and fucking Alpine.
yeah, I think those are probably the three best because yeah, you don't want to go for too low of a team if you're Porsche, and you can't get into too high of a team because they're obviously doing good right now. Why do they need your help?
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
got to go for somewhere in the middle, and Haas obviously would be the least. You'd be less happy with going with them versus like Alpine or McLaren, but like I'd rather go with Haas than AlphaTauri. Well, you can't get into AlphaTauri, but
Yeah,
like Williams or Aston Martin, like nah, Haas baby.
I actually like Haas. I like that little plan. If they just came in, did basically everything they needed to do, turned Haas around, actually gave them legitimate backing and funding. I mean, we've seen what they can do with appropriate development. We've seen how the glimpses of, oh shit, Haas actually might be back on this year's grid. Like we've seen it. We know it could happen. They just need the resources, in my opinion. That's it. And
And think about it, Haas is probably the least ego team. Like they're not gonna get pissed about a Porsche Haas or something or Haas Porsche,
that's true. Gunther's just going to be
the
like, oh
naming.
wow, sweet resources.
Money.
Yeah,
I've
he's going to
never
be
seen this
stoked.
before.
He's
And
I've
like
never seen this.
Haas, they've taken losses, like their business. So like having a partner come in 50-50, you don't have to put all the money from your real company into your F1 team. That's a little project.
Yeah.
Like that's cool. You get your marketing achieved. Porsche gets an entrance to F1. You get a bunch of money now. Now you actually are competitive or more so competitive. That could be a good one.
No, that could be a super good one. But
And plus re-sign Mick Schumacher. You got a German driver, German
nah, hell
engine.
no. Kick him to Williams and fucking sign Danny Rick. Do it. I
But
need
yeah,
this man. He's talking about taking a sabbatical. No.
I don't want to see Rick go. That would suck.
Like no. But I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's gonna happen. But man, you ready to get in
Predictions?
these predictions? Predictions? Question? Who
Did someone
wins?
say race predictions?
Yeah, man. Monza race predictions. We're gonna see some tiny rear wings, and we're gonna see just, I mean,
Ferrari
overall
1-2.
pace. Yeah.
Ferrari 1-2, baby.
Do you actually think so? Like, actually?
Not.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Not happening.
Oh man.
Race prediction, we see double DNF for the Ferraris. You heard it here
Wow.
first.
Wow. You literally went from 1-2 Ferraris to double DNF. I don't know, man. I actually think, let's see, we have Monza. It's pure. It's literally the temple of speed. It's pure straight line speed. You have, yeah, you have what, two little tight chicanes on it, but everything else is a long ass straight. Uh,
Red
let's
Bull
see. I
dominates.
mean,
Red Bull
yeah,
1-2.
Red Bull one
No,
two,
I take it back. Red Bull 1, Lewis Hamilton 2nd, George Russell 3rd, and Checo 4th.
and Ferrari 5-6.
Ferrari DNF, DNF. 1-2 DNF.
Oh my, bro! In front of the Tafasi at their home race.
That's what they need. I really hope they both DNF because if they don't get that, they're not gonna get the wake up call. Like you
They're
need
really
your
not.
fans right at your home place to be absolutely pissed off, ready to storm into Maranello.
I
That's the only
literally
way they'll change.
I need a bucket of tomatoes planted in each grandstand, so the moment they DNF, they're just fucking no, no,
I'm gonna
somebody
s-
get Matteo out of there.
I'm gonna start carrying tomatoes with me just so I can, light someone up whenever it's the right opportunity.
I'm saying, brother, like everybody need, if someone sucks, man, you need a nice tomato throwing,
Yeah, a good tomatoing, you could say.
a good tomatoing. But that's a strong prediction. I have a little bit of a different one. Obviously, it's Max winning because with the
Hmm.
way, dude, I'm telling you, the moment that Red Bull car got their reliability checked out, it checked all the boxes. It's
Gone.
doing everything right. Like
It's
Christian
really
Horner
fast.
was 100% correct when he would rather have a fast car and figure out reliability than a reliable car and it being slow. So I totally agree. He proved everyone wrong on that because it was, dude, the first 2 3 races it looked pretty bleak. It
Look,
Go for
he's
it.
lucky that his rival at the time also had an unreliable car. We just didn't know it yet.
This is true. This is true. But I mean, man, it was looking pretty bleak for Red Bull. But I mean, dude, it had to take an act from the Sky Daddy himself to get him to DNF this weekend, in my opinion. Unless he just crashes out or something. But no, I think it's a Max Verstappen winning. I am going to put George Russell in second, Lewis Hamilton in fourth, but that third place podium, I think I actually do want to give it to a Ferrari. I think Charles Leclerc comes in third again. I think Sergio Perez comes in fifth. There's going to be another unfortunate circumstance for Sainz. Actually, take that back. You know what? I think Sainz and Leclerc, either of them are going to get P3, but one of them is going to DNF. There is going to be at least one Ferrari DNF this weekend.
So, if we're going off the theory that one Ferrari's going to DNF, it's got to be Carlos's car because Leclerc has the fresher stuff. He got the new power unit at the start of this triple header.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It's got to be Carlos's car. So like,
Yeah.
if Charles comes in P3, Carlos is probably going to DNF, and we'll see. Probably, I don't know. We'll have, let's see. Yeah, Max, George, Charles, Lewis, Checo, and probably an Alpine or McLaren or something like
Mm.
something like that. But I mean, hey, who knows? Because with that, like I said, you could 100% be right. Charles has the most recent parts, the newer stuff. He could be totally fine, but one of their cars are DNFing, and who knows? It could be a DNF to just straight mechanical failure. It could be a DNF to something goes wrong and someone bends it. It could, I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna
The
crash it.
tire doesn't fit on the car this time.
Dude, yeah, yeah. Plot get this, bro. Watch them have a perfect pit stop. Watch them have like a 2.1, 2.2 pit stop, but they just don't fit everything right.
They didn't
Imagine
tighten the lug.
imagine that happening. That would
Dog.
be literally poetic in Ferrari's storyline this year.
Poetic justice. Put it in a song. Oh yeah. No,
Shouts to
I
Kendrick.
yeah. I'm definitely in a Kendrick, mood
Yeah,
today.
you
But
are.
uh yeah, I don't think Ferrari's actually gonna do a double DNF. I hope they do just because I'm pissed at them and I need them to have the wake up call. But actually no, I hope they don't because then Mattia Binotto would be like, "See, I told you guys it was the reliability the whole time." So shit. There's no winning here.
There literally isn't. They're in
There's
a
no way
spot
out.
to where they don't look good either way. If
Uh,
they go 1-2 at Monza, great. What happens now? What is congrats. You got out of the little slump you were in, but it did nothing to the race lead.
yeah. So I guess I will say okay. I'm gonna redact my original statement before I answer my prediction. Why do you think George is gonna beat out Lewis this weekend?
uh I don't know, man. I just feel I don't know. I feel like since Lewis has already been proven, he's kind of getting put on the back burner this year because they quote unquote don't need to worry about their 7-time champion and he can figure it out by himself. But that's just my theory. It probably isn't the case, but in my opinion, since they have George and George shows just as much pace as Lewis, if not some days looks faster than him. They've gotten to this scenario of okay, our equilibrium is pretty balanced all the way across. You can flip a coin on each of our drivers out qualifying the other. They're fairly even on all their rivalry stats. So that actually is a great spot to be in for Mercedes.
Hmm.
But I just feel like they just have some sort of complacency with Lewis because he's a 7-time
Mm.
winner. They know he's gonna be Lewis Hamilton. They know he's got it under control. I mean, we saw it
So do
early in
you?
the season. He was the guinea pig for all the tests.
That's true. So do you think the team is more focused on George Russell then, and that's why he's gonna get?
I I don't know if it's more focus. I just think it's less focus on Lewis. I don't think it's more in either direction. I think obviously whatever car is pacing to be in front of the other, that's the call they're going to make. And
But
you go ahead.
but Lewis was faster in the last race, and George made the call that he wanted to get the softs and pit stop. So
Yeah,
I
why
guess
why
is
can't
it
Lewis
is
say
it
the same?
no
They
no
double
no
stacked
I know,
before.
but
Yeah.
I'm saying is it that George is taking matters in his own hands more, or is it do you think maybe Mercedes is more they're giving George a little more interest because he's the new guy on the team and it's Lewis, you know what you're getting out of him, you know.
I
I
I
guess I
think
could see that.
it's a little common. Yeah, it's a weird. It's like a weird symbiotic relationship that they have with if Lewis is doing very well, it's literally race by race for Mercedes. I don't think they really prioritize anyone until they see what's unfolding in the race. If George was in the position to come in on that safety car and pit for the softs, so what? He was. They're doing so good as a team that one weekend Lewis is finishing P2 with George in P3. One weekend George is in P2 with Lewis in P3. What like it's going back and forth enough to where I don't think it's a big issue right now. But like I said in my opinion, I don't think it's more focus on either or. I just think it's okay, Lewis Hamilton is going to be Lewis Hamilton. He's proven we don't have to baby him, we don't have to coddle him, we don't have to make his strategies for him. He obviously can you know give us data on the car that we can't track efficiently. He can do basically everything. Hence why he was the guinea pig for most of the upgrades. Gave him the correct data, which set up both cars to be beautiful. So it's like I don't think it's more into George. I just think Lewis isn't like the top. Hey, we need to focus like it's his second year in F1. I just don't think they have a extremely long leash on Lewis.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay. So I guess I'm coming around to George finishing ahead of Lewis. So you're saying it's going to be Max, George, Leclerc. I'm going to one up you and say it'll be Max, Leclerc, Lewis, and then
Okay,
or I mean no, Max, Leclerc, George, sorry.
okay.
And then Lewis 4 and Checo 5 and hopefully Carlos 6 or Carlos 5.
Hopefully, I mean, yeah. Either way with them, that could be a thing. But it's like, I mean, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's Monza. We all know what Monza is. It's just going to be who can outpace the other, who can get the inside. I would definitely keep an eye on who qualifies P2 this weekend, though, because we
Mm,
go into that hairpin right-handed chicane, and whoever beats him down that straight is definitely going to have the upper hand, in
the
my opinion.
advantage. Yeah.
I
And
think Monza is one of those
hey,
very few tracks that P2 is almost an advantage.
I don't know if you saw, but last race they were putting the stats up there, and Leclerc had a better start than Max did in the race. So, do we see the same thing unfold with Leclerc getting the lead on the turn one?
I mean, hey,
Hopefully.
hopefully we see it, but I mean, with that stat, why didn't he finish top two?
Hey, shh.
Yeah, I'm about to say, great. He got a great start. You're right.
I didn't say he's holding the start. Okay.
Oh man, but yeah, Monza guys, we're looking
Monza.
forward to it. Last one of the triple header, then we go into a little week break, coming back into it. But yeah,
I got
man.
one question, one more question before we go, and that's if Ferrari pulls off this weekend without a DNF, that would be 3 race weekends in a row. Have does that say that they kind of sorted out their reliability issues, or are we still skeptical on it?
Uh, I'll give you reliability. I'll give you reliability. They at least are finishing races, but it's that's why it's so frustrating talking about Ferrari, because it could be reliability one weekend, it could be pit execution one weekend, it could be strategy execution one weekend, it could be a bad qualifying when they have no
It could be
pressure.
performance.
And it could be performance. So it's like it went from Ferrari being a locked tight box of just efficiency to everything going to shit. So it's like, yes, you're right on the reliability. If they finish this race with no DNFs, I think the reliability is good. Now, still in question is overall pace, strategy, pit execution, and just
Everything else.
literally everything else. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Literally everything else.
Hey, but let's be honest. What's a Monza race predictions episode without a little Ferrari hate in the season? So
I mean,
this
yeah,
was
of
up.
course. You got
Yeah.
to get the Tafasi going.
Dude, this is episode 35. Uh, I guess we could call it for the the end of Ferrari. Um,
Dude, it hurts. It hurts that Monza has to mark the end of Ferrari.
yeah, we'll see if this is their third strike and they're out of the title fighter if they do something good here and get everyone's hopes up again. Uh, but yeah, we're the Lockup Podcast. YouTube, we're the Lockup Podcast on there. We're on Twitter, TLUPF1, Instagram, TLUP.F1. Anchor.fm, so you can find us on all the platforms. Like, you guys know what to do. You know
Yeah,
where
you
we're
know
at.
the deal. You know the deal. But yeah, just want to wish you guys a happy rest of the day. Have a good week. Look forward to race weekend, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.